perspective, we may be able to, get Regeneron into one of our buildings because, wow, we have a LEED certified property. We're an Energy Star building because that means something to them. It may not give us more financial monies from a rent perspective, but we're increasing our overall occupancy numbers.
Okay, so marketing is a big benefit. I know we have someone with the microphone in the back. Go ahead.
I just make a quick comment. For publicly traded companies like Regeneron, 70% of the average New York Stock Exchange company's assets or stock prices consisted of intangible assets like reputation, not the hard assets of what buildings they own or machinery they own and so on. So it's important for public, but it's starting to filter into the small companies as well that realize reputation is extremely important, especially after BP and things like this. Reputation is key. The question I had is on IT. A lot of buildings, especially office buildings, one of the biggest problems is the IT side. You have a lot of servers in the building, it costs you a lot of money, it drives up your demand, your peak demand, and so certainly demand response, but also companies can respond by changing their operations. IBM is pushing their cloud computing model that you use their servers, but that would also reduce your peak demand in your building by getting rid of your servers that you have in the building. And I was wondering if you see those trends starting to occur in the buildings that you're either renting or renting to people.
Okay, IT, who wants to grab that one? Anyone have some experience in that?
Engineer. Yeah, that's an we talked about before. Who are the stakeholders involved in trying to make a building more energy efficient? And right there, that's a area that's important. IT is a huge component of any business, any building now, and there's a huge push in this environment right now to have data centers that are much more energy efficient. That's just one area, and that's a huge area of the environmental movement, actually. Because those were traditionally energy hogs. No one wanted to hear about saving energy. They just wanted to hear about uptime, and we can never go down. But now there's a combination of the two. So I think that is an operation thing, and I think that is going to be an important thing going forward.
Thank you. I know it's getting late. Is the panel okay? I see we have other hands up. Are you okay? A couple more questions?
I was going to say we can always have offline conversations.
Right.
If
right. So why don't we take one or two more? Yeah, Michael?
Neil, I was curious if any of the building owners are doing any performance contracting, because we have a number of clients that are benefiting, and I'm sure our co-op friend up front can bring some of that strategy to his buildings. We're doing millions of dollars that have energy savings that really pay for themselves. The capital improvements pay for themselves, and you can get global companies like Siemens and Honeywell to come in and do millions of dollars of capital improvements to your building, and over 15 or 10 or 20 years it pays for itself. There's even performance contracting in apartment buildings for water savings, and I was wondering if any of the building owners are doing any performance contracting.
Yes. We are, in addition to all of our benchmarking and things of that nature, even before we started that process, our key focus was, let's just dive right into it and spend less time talking and analyzing and working with various companies that are focused on retrofits to help look at our various systems. Now, working specifically with the companies that provide the material for the retrofits, like a Honeywell, or even looking at Con Ed, who I know will also come in and work with your systems. We've actually found some outsourced other third-party companies, and the benefit to us was they conducted their analyses with no upfront cost, and that's sort of critical when your cash flow is imperative and you're not wanting to put out monies before you know if you're going to have a project or not. So it's really just a matter of trying to choose what's right for your company, and there's tons of opportunities, whether it's with the utility, with a manufacturer of efficiency products, or even other third-party companies.
Many of those opportunities you can learn about through looking at the scorecard and help links. For those of you that are already registered for the challenge, or those of you that have not, please go on the website and take a closer look at it.
One last thing I wanted to say on that point is that there's a lot of technical information, particularly when you start getting into mechanical. I don't know a thing about it, and I'll never pretend to. And I rely on the engineers to be the ones to dictate and work through with our property management teams on what's going to be beneficial for each project. So it's important that you rely on the expertise of your vendors as opposed to trying to overwhelm yourself and figure it out yourself.
Rely on your experts. Okay, thanks,
Neil,
Jayden. Back.
I'd actually like to add to that, just because it's not just the landlords that are doing performance contracting. The tenants can do it as well. And Regeneron did a performance contract for lighting as well as HVAC upgrades to do variable frequency drives and things of that sort, probably about 15 years ago, and we anticipated a 5-year payback, and it ended up being almost 2-year payback. So we really reaped a tremendous benefit. So it can be on the landlord side or the tenant side. Don't be afraid to approach your landlords and say, hey, we want to do this, and get together and make it happen.
Great, thank you. Okay, sir, you've been very patient in the back. Go ahead.
My name is Ron Stites. I own Anton's of Westchester, the catering hall on the Summer River Parkway. I'm a small business owner, so I'm a tenant also. So the landlord owns the building, but I got a triple net lease. So I have a little more interest in the Green Challenge because it affects my bottom line. So just to give you some ideas what I've done, there's some major companies over there, but a lot of us are not the major companies, so you have to handle things a little differently. I painted one of the flat roofs I have. They have the reflector paint. Had somebody come in and they seal it all up, and they also paint it with reflecting paint, which takes the heat and reflects it back up again. So you save some energy that way if you have a flat roof. We recycle, but after last couple of years, the garbage company actually recycles themselves. They came in and they put everything at the one dumpster, even though we recycle cardboard, cans, paper, and everything else, but they did not. Now they do it also. So that's some of the things that we insisted on. We went to NYSERDA and got a loan for an HVAC unit. We got a $50,000 loan from NYSERDA, and that at that time, which was 2-3 years ago, NYSERDA paid 6.5% interest on the loan, and we paid only 1.5% interest. Okay, that's a big savings. So if you're looking to get something done, like something that's really energy efficient in your place, you can do the same thing. We also got a rebate for the unit also. So you get a rebate because you got Energy Star, and you got a discount on a loan and everything else. They also came in and did all lighting for nothing. The people came in, the labor did it for nothing. They changed the light bulbs for nothing. You didn't pay anything. And one of my members of the country club is over here, I noticed, and I spoke at the country club that I was crazy, that doesn't exist, no one's going to do that. Well, 6 months later they decided to do that, and they saved thousands of dollars already just with the bulbs alone that they changed. Okay, just with the bulbs, which they didn't have to pay for either. LED lights, if you notice my building, it's all lit up with white lights around it. Well, if I change to LED light bulbs, you know, the little rope lights around it, if I change to LED bulbs, I can save between 80 to 90% of the cost of the energy. The reason I didn't do it this year, because the economy is sort of like not as great, and I got to buy the bulbs, which is going to cost me around $4 grand, $5,000. But next spring, I'm going to do it. I'm saving up what I'm going to do, because I'm going to save 85 to 90% probably.
Great steps, Ron. Thanks so much for sharing those.
With small businesses out there, I'm sure a lot of you have it. Not necessarily this seminar we're having today, but Elizabeth Selleck, who's with us today, she's actually going to be hosting a sustainable seminar that if you'd like to talk to her about, that's focusing on small businesses and things of that nature.
Actually, while you direct the floor to me, I do marketing and outreach for NYSERDA, and I want to speak to the gentleman who asked the question about data efficiency centers, because NYSERDA does technical assistance for a variety of energy efficiency, renewable projects, but we do have a focused program for data efficiency. The program that Jay referenced is this coming Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the New York Power Authority. And basically all the incentives that were referenced today, we're going to be going into detail about what NYSERDA offers in the way of technical assistance and financial assistance. Also, we're going to have a representative of Con Edison there to talk about their commercial programs. And we're going to have a lender that has a green loan product to help finance larger projects, as small projects as well, but finance the part of the cost share that NYSERDA or Con Ed won't cover, and also to help business development for green businesses that promote and sell green products and services. So there's flyers out there, but if you're interested, you can also just give me your business card and I'll send you an electronic copy.
Thanks, Elizabeth. You can also check the challenge website, westchestergov.com/Green Challenge, which has an events page where we list Elizabeth's event and others that are upcoming that are related to green facilities. Did someone have a comment up here?
I think I was just going to mention that Con Ed has a specific small business program, and there's information out back on that.
Right, thank you. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Our panel members may be sticking around if you have additional questions. If a few people want to take a quick tour of this facility with Jason Black of some of their greening initiatives, meet with Jay and he can show you around with some of those things. Thank you to Westchester County, the Business Council of Westchester, Con Ed, our sponsor, Gregson S.L. Green and John Barnes, our hosts, and to all of our panel members, and thank you all for coming through.